I've been an entrepreneur since May of 2017. I haven't had a job or been employed by any other employer, and I've been running my own business. I've been very successful at it to the point where I can make a living off of doing what I love every day. And I just want to give you guys some tips. So I can't wait to share with you guys how I went from traveling across the country to a new state and really establishing myself as a businesswoman and entrepreneur. Hey you guys, I'm Skyler Reed. I am a vocal coach and business owner, and I'm an R&B soul artist. In this new video series, I want to give you guys business tips. I have been running a successful business since officially 2018, but I started my business in 2016 when I used to live in LA, and then when I came to Atlanta, I really launched it and really started growing. Before I get started, if you guys have any questions that you would like me to cover in upcoming videos, please leave a comment, let me know. My business is a service business and I am an LLC. When I first started teaching privately in LA, I was just doing a few lessons here and there. I had a few voice students. I may have had one piano student, but I mainly focused on voice when I was in LA. When I moved to Atlanta, I got a job being an after-school coordinator where I taught music and I taught art. I was able to make my own curriculum and be able to have freedom with what I was doing. I got into my business because a parent came to me and asked me if I taught private lessons. Because at the time during the after school program, I was really introducing the children to music, musical instruments. I was teaching them piano. I would bring my keyboard in and have mini piano lessons with them and things like that. And the mother was really interested in me teaching her daughter piano lessons. And I didn't think that I would necessarily start running my business and become an entrepreneur like then. God told me to come to Atlanta for a reason, and this is where I was supposed to thrive with my business. When I was a girl, I always wanted to be a business owner, but when I was younger, I thought it would be a record label. I was like, oh, I want to own a record label. But things changed and I learned there's so many different opportunities in the music industry. Long story short, I ended up teaching this girl and I got some more students wanting to do piano. But of course, my main instrument is voice. So I really focused in on getting more voice students. And I eventually started getting adult students and just working with other studios as an independent contractor and getting students that way. And also really learning how to get students on my own. What business do you want to start? I feel like if you have a passion, if you have a love of some sort that you just, want to dabble more in, something that you're good at, that would be a good place to start. Figuring out like what you're good at, how you can service other people. Is there a market in existence of what you would like to do where you can easily probably get in and, become a subcontractor or learn from other people in that industry to help you with your business? There's so many different ways to go about it. It really boils down to what you want to do. My business is particularly a service-based business. There are businesses that do product-based. They sell products and do different things. There's a ton of different kinds of businesses and different ways you can operate. I transitioned into having a sector of product-based business within my service business where I provide products. I created products where I sell. Some of them are virtual, some of them are physical, where I ship out and mail to people. So it just depends on what you want to do, how much work you want to put on yourself. Do you want this to be a one-man job or do you want to have a team? For me, I don't necessarily need a team because it's just me teaching. It's just me and I'm good at what I do. I've learned how to market. I've learned how to use certain platforms and websites and different things to help me with marketing, with getting students, with advertisement, with content, with so much stuff. But I just learned all of these things on my own because it's just me. I'm a business owner by myself. But there are also businesses where they have small businesses. They might have people that they hire to do certain tasks. I'm now in the position where I'm ready to hire somebody to help me with a certain aspect of my business. So this way I can just not stress about it because I'm getting to the point where I am being overloaded with work. And every moment of every day is mostly work, even when I'm not teaching. There's a lot of different aspects that go into business. And if you aren't a business-minded person, maybe business isn't your thing. You need to decide like what kind of business you want to run and how much work you want to put on yourself, because if you aren't a businessy person, then maybe that's not the thing for you to do. There's so many other ways to make money in the business realm where you don't necessarily have to offer a service. There's a lot of things you can look into. I'm just going to talk about my experience and what I've been through, and hopefully, these tips will help you with what you would like to do and accomplish. After you figure out what kind of business you want to start, if you want it to be service-based or product-based or whatever, you have to also think about, okay, are you qualified? Are you qualified in the area that you're trying to do business in? Please don't be out here being fraud. Like, be an expert in whatever that is, whatever field you're trying to be in. I feel like I am an expert in the voice, in music. I'm an expert in piano. I understand theory. I'm an expert in that. I understand it to a point where I can teach it, break it down. So really think about that, the qualifications. To find this out, do some research, find people that are doing what you want to do, and look at their qualifications. Look at, if there's a job opening for a specific job that you would like to do as an entrepreneur. Look at what those requirements are for that job position. Look at what other entrepreneurs in your field are doing and how they qualify to do what they do. People don't just wake up and, they're just geniuses in that field. Like, it takes time to really hone whatever aspect of the business you're trying to be a part of. So if it's music, pick what it is. Like, if you're trying to do lessons like me, if you're a drummer, are you an expert in drumming? Are you good enough to teach somebody else? I find that, there are people that are great musicians, great artists, great singers, but they aren't great teachers. Just because you can sing or you can play an instrument doesn't mean you're a good teacher. Just because you can produce a beat doesn't mean you're a good teacher. So take that into consideration. What is it can you provide to these people? So after you figure out, like, okay, how am I qualified, or what am I qualified to do, figure out what it is you want to provide. For me, I was like, I'm going to do music theory, I'm going to do voice, I'm going to do piano, I'm going to do everything I'm good at. And I even started off with different price breakdowns for each one, and I'll get to that in a later video. I later learned that I just need to keep it simple: voice and piano. And ukulele. I did add ukulele to my list just because that's an easy instrument to teach kids, and it's fun, and I get it. So it's fine. Whatever it is that you want to do, you should pinpoint it. These products, if you're a product-based company, start off with one product. Don't just like, I'm going to have like 10 different options. Like, that's too confusing. Like, start off with a product, figure out how you're going to put your energy into that, how you're going to sell that, and put your focus in on that one thing. It's like finding your niche on Instagram. For example, my niche is like singing, like how to do riffs and runs. I have a very good ear, so I can hear runs, I can hear notes, I can hear tones very well. And that's something I can easily teach for you guys on YouTube, because that's something I'm very good at, and that's like a niche. That's something I specialize in. I have a very strong ear, but that came from being developed and learning and taking time and all of that stuff. How do you want to service? Who do you want to service? So figure that out. In the age of this pandemic, it might be a good idea to figure out how you could service people virtually, service people online where you don't have to physically be with them. And who do you want to service? What is your demographic? For me, it just happened to be, I always work with kids, so it wasn't a surprise. Like, me and kids, I'm good with kids. I work very well with kids, and I've always worked with kids since I left. My first job out of college was being a counselor at a summer camp. What is your demographic? I also am good with working with adults around my age group. There's certain things that all these people have in common that draw them to me, and that is, what you want to find in your demographic. Don't just like put it out in the world. Like, really do some research on who you want to service. Find out who other entrepreneurs in your area are serving, and that can give you a good idea of who you could be servicing, who will already be interested in what you want to provide. That's all I have for today. Just some things to think about. Once again, please let me know if you have any questions. I will be doing more videos on music business, on entrepreneurship, on just business tips. So just reach out to me, drop a comment, let me know what you want to learn from me and my experience. And of course, if you guys aren't following me, please do on all social media at Skyler's Music Studio, and I am Skyler Reed. And make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and that like button if this video was helpful. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.